Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to tell you a real story about Jane Goodall, who is still alive, who is from England. She spent more than 55 years in Gombe National Park in Tanzania, which is in the eastern part of Africa. Now let us know more about her life. This is a story of her life. It is an autobiography which is written by herself. Therefore, we say autobiography. A biography, a life of history of a person written by the same person is autobiography. Now, what she has written about her life, we are going to see in this story. Let us get into the story. The name of the story is My Early Days with the Chimpanzees. The name of the story is My Early Days with the Chimpanzees. One day, which is 1960, July 16, when Jane Goodall was 26 years old, she went along with her mother to Gombe National Park to observe chimpanzees. Jane Goodall was a scientist. She was a person who studies about animal life such as gorillas and chimpanzees. She went to observe chimpanzees in Gombe National Park with her mother. When these two women went to Gombe National Park, they met two soldiers who are protecting the Gombe National Park. They are the scouts in that place. So these African scouts, they helped them to put up a tent at the safe place in the Gombe National Park. After they stayed in that tent, and this woman, Jane Goodall, every morning she used to set an alarm at 5 o'clock. She used to wake up at 5:30. She used to set an alarm for 5:30, and she used to wake up at 5:30 and eats her bread, slices of bread, and drinks coffee, and then she sets off to go up to the peak place of the valley. She used to climb there, and after climbing she used to observe and discover where the chimpanzees are, where most of the chimpanzees stay. She used to observe. She observed the chimpanzees, how they eat and what they eat. She used to observe. So her time spent in observing all the animals and mostly chimpanzees. And she has seen that some of the chimpanzees, they go 5 or 6 as a group from one place to another place. They don't make a large group and go roam wherever they want to. They are not like baboons. Baboons always make a large group of baboons gather and they move from one place to another place. Now here these chimpanzees are staying on the trees and eating and spending their life. So she is observing chimpanzees. Sometimes mother chimpanzee is to take the children and move one place to another place. And also sometimes some male chimpanzees, they used to go together 3 or 4, but they don't make large groups. After they go from one place to another place, and they even they eat even sometimes insects, and they hunt even animals. Usually they eat fruits, stems, leaves, roots, all vegetables. They whatever the fruits they find, they used to eat. But very rarely these chimpanzees gather as a large group. All the few groups, if they gather, if they find a big fruit tree at one place, all groups will come together at one place and they will sit on that tree and enjoy the fruits eating. And at that time all the chimpanzees make a loud noise, and they, out of excitement, they make a lot of sounds. So The woman, Jane Goodall, is observing all those things in the park. So until one year, she did not go closer to the chimpanzees. She always used to observe them from far. She never get close to the chimpanzees. And here two important things happened when she went to the peak and observed these chimpanzees. So one day, when early morning, when she went to the top of the peak in the morning, and it was lightly dark, she was not able to see things clearly. She was at a little distance of a buffalo. Buffaloes are very dangerous. In that Gombe National Park, which is covered nearly 77 kilometers, 30 square miles is equal to 77 kilometers. In that park, there are some wild animals, leopards and squirrels and mongooses, civets, porcupines, baboons and chimpanzees. All kinds of animals are moving from one hill to another hill and from one tree to another tree around the park. So park is 77 kilometers distance. The park is there. One day when the woman went to the peak of the tree, and in the early morning she met a buffalo close by. That buffalo did not see her. Buffalo was grazing the grass, and this woman is at some distance from that buffalo. If buffalo sees, and buffalo is more dangerous than the lion or the leopard in that park. So she was very much afraid of that buffalo. And at that time, the wind did not blow from Jane Goodall to buffalo. If it blows from her to from Jane Goodall to buffalo could smell that there is some human being is staying at that place, and buffalo would come and attack and kill Jane Goodall. But on that day, she escaped from buffalo because the wind did not blow from Jane Goodall to buffalo. Yeah, the wind blown from the buffalo to Jane Goodall. Therefore, she could not smell that Jane Goodall is there at the peak of the valley. So here at that time she escaped. And there is another one more incident when she went to the peak. There, just 15 yards distance, she found leopard. Nearly it is approaching towards Jane Goodall. At the time, even she got scared. She was afraid of that leopard, but leopard did not harm her. Unless it has been wounded, it will not attack anyone. It is not usually dangerous animal. Leopard is not usually dangerous animal unless it has been wounded. So at that time also she was escaped from leopard. So she sometimes used to sleep on top of the peak, and she used to cover blanket. She always used to carry to the top of the peak her trunk and flask and coffee seeds and also sugar, and all those things she used to carry to the top of the peak. And sometimes she used to sleep on the peak. And when she is sleeping on the top of the peak, and even chimpanzees also sleep nearby to her, and she like that used to spend her life. When she sleeps on top of the peak, and sometimes she used to get scared of the grunting sound of leopards. Leopards at night, they make big sounds. She is afraid, and she used to pray to God that if any leopard comes and if any leopard come and sees her, and they would attack her. She is afraid of the leopard, and she used to pray to God at night when she sleeps on top of the peak. So like that, she used to save her life and by praying to God and from leopards. Every day she used to go to her tent. In case before the sunset she never went. After the sunset she used to go to her tent at the safest place where two African soldiers told her to stay. But sometimes in case in the morning she used to go to the peak, and evening she used to come. Sometimes if she is late, she used to stay on the peak, and at that time she is very much afraid of these wild animals. And when she returns, she used to talk with her mother, and mother also, she used to share her experience in the park. So like that they used to spend. But her mother did not stay with her for long period. Only 5 or 6 months she stayed. A couple of months she stayed, and afterwards she left to England. This girl, this woman, 26-year-old Jane Goodall, only stayed in that Goodall National Park for longer period. And when her mother was not in that park, in the tent also, she is not at all afraid. She never felt that she is alone, because she did not have time to think about her personal life. She is always busy in doing things with these chimpanzees. So like that she spent her life in the Goodall National Park. In the Goodall National Park, when Jane Goodall's mother was with her for a few months, even mother was like a doctor. She used to give treatment to the people who are nearby the park. She knew how to give medicines to the sick people. Like that, even they are helpful to the people, and Jane Goodall is observing and even loving even the chimpanzees, and she used to even help the chimpanzees, and she understood, she learned how the chimpanzees live. And chimpanzees, even the sleeping style also she understood. They sleep, they bend down one branch upon another branch, and they make pillow with the leaves. They bring so many leaves together and some flowers and at all, and keep as their pillow and sleep. So like that, here Jane Goodall studied the life of chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are more advanced than other animals. So in this way, Jane Goodall's life we can see as she spent most of her life with the chimpanzees. I hope you all understood about Jane Goodall's life, my early days with the chimpanzees lesson. Thank you. Take care.